What's happening, guys? Thanks for tuning back into the channel here with the Rustbelt mechanic and the captain.
The captain. What's up, guys?
What's
Mer-
happening, Captain?
Merry post Christmas to everybody.
And happy Kwanzaa. Isn't that the happy Kwanzaa Wanaka?
I think the actual holiday after Christmas is called Boxing Day. For those people
Boxing Day.
up in the Canadians.
The Northerners.
Yep. We'll have to make sure if Junk from work stops in, we'll have to make sure we tell him a happy Boxing Day.
That's true. It is his happy Boxing Day. What's happening to everybody tuning into the channel tonight? We are kind of just throwing it very light and easily tonight. We've all had this nice holiday, been going through all the fun times through flat rate trying to work during the holiday, which has been fun in and of itself. But, we're kind of just going to cruise through tonight. How's that sound there, Captain?
Sounds awesome. And this also gives me a chance to actually test the chatbot on this computer again and see if it works.
There we go. There we go.
I don't know if we're necessarily going to give anything away, but I can at least test it and make sure it works. Since we're not doing in a strict stream, we're doing a loosey goosey stream.
That's right. So anything that you guys really want to talk about tonight, we can go ahead and pull that, do whatever you guys whatever you guys want to tonight. If you guys want to talk tools, cool. If you guys want to talk about dealership fun stuff, then cool, let's do that stuff.
Everyday Fleet Tech said Junk is busy expressing his dealership hatred.
I know, and it's so depressing going over and watching him do that.
Just because it's him?
No, not because it's him, but more along the lines because I have seen that happen to so many people before who get sucked into like some crappy dealerships, and they get dealt a shit-handed cards when it comes to some of these dealerships where they just, they get into a dealership that they really didn't doesn't really care about them, doesn't really have investment in their future or anything like that. So it sucks seeing that, and especially to a guy who's really, really good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks just seeing that one. Somebody who isn't actually given an opportunity up to his potential. That's what I'm talking about. If you guys haven't seen that, we're talking about Mr. Junk from Work, who is on his soapbox over on his stream right now, talking about the woes of the dealership life. I think he works at a Ford dealership, right?
Yes, he works at the Big Blue Oval.
Yep. How would you like to work for that Big Blue Oval?
No.
I
got a Big Blue Oval to work on it. Hopefully this week, and I really don't want to work on it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I know, Fleet Tech. That's one of those things where he's hopped into dealership life, and me myself, I've even worked at 3 different dealerships at times. It's actually only been 2 dealerships. I left the first one, which I work at now. I went to another one, and then I ended up moving back. Kind of jumping around a little bit, but not over like 5 or 6 dealers. But something to be able to see. I guess the grass greener on the other side for a technician, if you want to put it that way or not. And that's what I kind of hoping that he would do, is to kind of look around at trying to find another dealership, maybe one that's a little bit smaller, one that's able to get more along the lines of the the one-on-one thing for training, especially with a dealership that's wanting to do more training. That'd be nice to see.
Yes, it would be. Speedy Check said, I worked at 5 different dealers over 17 years. Sometimes you have to move on. Other times you can make things work.
I totally agree with that one. Now, like I said, I worked at this specific dealership the first time, and I worked there for 4 years, and then I ended up, we kind of had a crap service manager at the time, so I ended up leaving for 7 months, going to another one, and coming back to this one after that one. So it turned out all right for me. No Shaka, unfortunately, no guests on this evening. We do have one kind of lined up for the next week, but this one being here, just kind of hanging out in between Christmas and New Year's, just hanging out with people, enjoying the good old holiday season. And one of the coolest things that I really wanted to bring to you tonight and say thank you the most for is I just hit 30,000 subscribers. So it's one of those things. It's awesome. I never thought I was going to get to that point when I first started this one. I really thought this was going to be like a 4 or 5 thousand subscriber channel, and I was going to be able to do what I needed to at that amount. So, hitting 30,000, it's a humbling moment, and I hit that yesterday, Saturday morning. I hit the 30,000 mark, and it was just it set me back a little bit. I was just wowed by that one. You know,
So 30K, so 30K Hellcat.
30K. No, not a Hellcat. But funny enough, Saturday where I was at a dealership ordering. Well, wait for him to get done vaping here because all I hear is, yep, that one. But anyways, where I was at on Saturday morning, we're just gonna mute Ron out of here.
I'm kidding.
I was actually at a dealership ordering a vehicle for the new year. I'm not going to let it out exactly what it is yet.
I will.
No, he won't. Nope. But that's where I was at on Saturday. I was actually at a dealership ordering a vehicle for the new year coming up on the channel. So there's going to be some new awesome stuff coming up here on the channel over the next couple of weeks to a month. So the really funny part was, well, I took my son in there with me, and we're talking to one of the employees at that dealership, and he's like, "Oh wow, that's really cool," and they're willing to work with the channel and everything. So he subscribed to the channel. That guy who ended up being the salesman signed up, and he was my 30,000th subscriber. So if that says something or not, I think that says something to where this project is going to be really, really awesome. No, it is not a new E-Mustang. It is nothing in the Ford line. I don't think I will ever step foot into a Ford dealership willingly.
Guys, that's a Cybertruck.
No.
No.
No, not to where I'm going to be able to get it that fast. Those are 2 years out, yo. Mm-hmm.
You said it was for the channel. You didn't say how quick it was going to be here for the channel.
It will be here in the next month or so. Uh-huh. Not going to say anything else. No.
Is it a Gladiator?
If it was a Gladiator, then I would have just stayed at my own dealership to order it. So no,
Yep.
it is
Is it
not a
the mo-
Chrysler vehicle.
Is it an Oscar Mayer Wiener vehicle?
Dude, I would rock that. Do you imagine having like I
A
would do it.
rhino lined wiener?
No, I would do like a straight up like Diesel Brothers build on that one. Do a full ladder cage chassis build. Have it like a 6 foot lift with monster truck tires. Rolling
It
around
would
in
be
that Oscar
that,
Mayer
that
wiener.
that would be ridiculous.
Uh huh. Yep. Yeah, it's not going to be a Chrysler product this time, Shaka. It is going to be something uh, that nobody else really sees coming to this one, but it's going to be something that's really awesome. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Hey, Shaka would be happy to know that I got a Ryobi tool for Christmas today.
He did. Shaka, of all things, he ended up. We went a white elephant gift exchange.
Yep.
So
Yeah. And here's the funny thing about it. So we're doing this white elephant gift exchange, and I pick my bag and I pull it over to me and I pull the paper out of it and I lift out this old, and I'm talking like old Ryobi drill. And then I'm like, I pulled the trigger and it's flat out dead. I look in the bag and there's a charger for the new OnePlus Ryobi batteries. So I take the battery off and I stick it on the charger, and I'm like, it twists and does everything else. It doesn't even work for the same battery. So I got a charger and I got a drill, and I can't use either of them.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, McBake, you keep your mouth shut. I know McBake knows what it is too, but you got to keep your mouth shut on this one. a, a 94
Buick Donk.
No, it is a brand new vehicle. It is brand spanking new. It will have 0 miles on it when I pick it up. Yeah. It's
Speaking
killing
of
me
people,
not saying
speaking
anything.
of people who got brand new vehicles, just to talk about an
Yeah,
article that I came across. So, for those of you guys who didn't know, or Chrysler, I should say, was actually doing a giveaway over the holiday seasons to give away a Red Eye Hellcat Charger, fully customized and signed by Bill Goldberg himself.
the
And
Goldberg.
yeah, yep. And I guess one guy, like, they had to answer like five real like stupid hard questions. One of them was like trying to figure out how much drag is on a Hellcat if it was like flying the same height as Santa's sleigh and it's already going 200 some odd miles an hour and it needs to get up to 400 miles an hour. So how much horsepower does it need to get up there with that much, drag and resistance at a certain height? It's like stupid engineering questions.
That sounds like way too much thinking.
It is. But I guess one of the guys ended up winning one, and you can find pictures of him online. But he won this SRT Charger Hellcat Red Eye, and it's pretty badass. I won't lie.
It was a really cool thing they did. Now it would have been cooler if they would have like played out the whole 9 yards and done it like unveiling it in what was the commercial called in Muscleville
Yeah.
where they roll it out. It's in Muscleville. Polaris Shaka coming through with Polaris. Oh, I hate those. I don't even fit in them. Those Polaris, those Razors, or
He's-
what's the other Polarises? Um, I forget the other one. It just sucks that they don't fit in them.
You're getting a Power Wheel.
A big old Power Wheel, a Tahoe with the Duramax. That would be kind of cool to see, but I would rather do
The
one of
Chevy
the
Hurricane.
Cadillac, one of the Cadillac Duramax swaps. I think that would be a cool one to see. You don't see that one very often.
You figure out how to a Duramax swap a Power Wheel.
I think that would just be a Duramax engine go kart at that point.
I'm okay with that too.
I mean, have you guys seen Whistling Diesel? If you guys follow any kind of Diesel stuff, he's one of the biggest guys in the Duramax world, and he straight up did chop down a Duramax chassis, frame, and body. Just had the freaking drivetrain, the necessities, bolted a seat to a couple of frames right there on the rail, and he's been rocking that around the Duramax go kart. That was nuts to see. Talking about having a guy with a channel that does absolutely whatever he wants, when he wants, anything stupid, and getting paid mass loads of money for it, that guy's got it just dialed in.
Everyday
Cummins is
fleet,
better than
everyday fleet
D-Max.
tech coming in with a Cummins is better than D-Max $1.99 donation.
Now we could debate that one all day long, and I do agree with you that actually in most formats. So I own a Duramax, but I work on Cummins trucks all day long, and as if I look into it individually, like in each one of the sections, like miles per gallon, fuel efficiency of the engine, yes, the Duramax is better. Or I mean, yes, the Cummins is better. Look at the horsepower ratings for them. Again, the Cummins takes the pie on that 98% of the time in comparative years. You go to reliability and I guess ease of the technician working on them. Cummins takes that one by far compared to the Chevys on that one.
So why do we have Duramax again?
I mean, it's what I ran into, and it's fun to work on, and it's not a Cummins that I work on every day. It's
That's
something
true.
different. It's actually fun, and no, power strokes do not rules. I just lay those out there. I cannot handle work on power stroke. Whoever thought it was a great idea to run, especially in those 6 liters. Let's run our fuel injection system off of oil pressure and let's sell them in the far north where it gets way, way cold and it's really hard to build great oil pressure. Yeah, the great minds of
That
Ford on
seems
that one.
legit.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle says Duramax pays my bills big time. GM Tech here.
Yep, they definitely do, especially when guys start doing crap like me and start doing all of the additional things. Oh, God, I'm going to throw some injectors up in here. We're going to put a big old Terpsky on her, throw some big old down pipes and a 5-inch exhaust.
Sounds just like you.
If I could see McBake sitting here right now, he's like, "Yep, that's the one. That's the guy. We see him in the shop every day."
Yep. One of these days we'll get Baker to get him a truck.
Yeah, just to get a truck, not even a diesel, but just to.
I said that he ought to get the baby Duramax we had on the lot for the longest time.
We do have a customer who's got one of those, and we've had a couple of those on there, but I don't know enough about them to really dive into them just wholeheartedly on that
Mm-hmm.
one. That and I couldn't own one of the smaller than half-ton trucks. I've got to have a
Yeah,
long bed.
but like he says in the shop, we're big burly bitches, and he's a little tiny guy, so he needs a little tiny truck to go with with his stature.
Justin Sturls just bought a new Ford. Yeah, I know, and he traded his Duramax in too. I'm pretty sure he used to have a Duramax. He had a Denali Duramax, and that was a nice freaking truck. I do like those. Yeah, McBake would have to slam it.
Yep.
Throwing the short jokes. Bar Horse knows how it is. Funny enough, when I first lifted my truck, that was the very first thing that I thought about. Like, so do I want to lift it? How much would I want to lift it? Or should I lower it? And I was more leaning towards lowering it. However, the push of, I guess, views, channels, everything was just going, and especially where we live here in the shithole of Ohio, just more leans towards needing more of a lifted truck. So that's why I ended up going to that. But can you imagine my truck, quad cab, long bed, sitting 6 inches lowered?
No, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd enjoy it as much if it was lowered.
Well, yes and no. Like there's a couple of differences in between the truck. And the one thing that I don't like about my truck currently, if I had to say about the lift, it's the fact of going to what I want with the horsepower where it's at right now. It's so much harder to handle that much horsepower and torque with a lifted truck. Especially once you get up to the point where it's rolling 50 some pounds of boost, flying
Mm-hmm.
through third gear up over 100 miles an hour down a road, and that lifted truck is just freaking flopping all over the place. It's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
scary, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, definitely.
Hmm. Need a Cummins powered sports car. I'd be down for that. That'd be a sweet project. Now let's talk about like so just the sweet projects. Like you had money is no option for you. What would you want to build? Crazy. It's got, and obviously you have to do a different engine inside of a different car. But what would you do there, Captain?
I have to put a different engine in a different
Have
car.
have to put a different engine in it.
Oh God, put
Hmm.
me on the spotlight, why don't
Uh
you?
oh, there's junk from work coming off the
Happy
soapbox.
Happy Boxing Day.
Happy Boxing Day. Well, almost. It was yesterday.
Past it was the 26th.
Oh,
Um, we're a couple days late, but this is the first time I've seen him, so whatever. Um, let's see. God, what would I do? I don't even know. He's just like, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to think about this. You go.
me, what?
Yeah, you. I don't.
Okay, so if I had the choice, I really do like the Duramax engine and how much I've learned with it. It's fun to work with. And the Cummins engine, they're just a little bit too tall for what I want to do, so it would not be a Cummins swap. But what I would really want to do is I want to do a 62-ish Impala station wagon, slammed like 6 inches lowered, channeled the whole 9 yards, Duramax swapped.
Hmm.
Think about that one.
Duramax swapped Impala.
Yep, Impala, 62 Impala wagon.
I
Has to be the wagon.
let's say I had my buddy from high school. He had a relative that lived up in like Minnesota or something. He had a '90s Impala, and they swapped it with a I want to say it was like a Corvette engine or some sort of higher sports car engine, and I actually got to ride in it. That thing was fast.
That's pretty sweet.
So I can imagine doing something like that, like getting a maybe not a maybe not a '90s Impala, but get like a late '60s or like early '70s Impala, like maybe a '68 that's got the more streamlined body to it,
Hmm.
and then putting a bigger engine, like putting a newer, bigger engine in it if you can make it work.
I would also like to do one of like the 95, 96 style. I guess we're on an Impala, kind of binge right now. I would like to see that one to do a full 96 Impala SS style build. I think that would be
Hmm.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm always down for that. Impalas were my favorite.
Hmm.
What's up, America? Bumper to bumper. Welcome into the show tonight.
So, what did you guys end up doing for your Christmas break here? So, I know we had a little bit slower of a week this last week. I know it was kind of rough on a couple of guys, but let's look at the positive things. How did everybody get through and everything for this week? I know we squeaked by this last week with like right at 40 hours. I did. Um, and it was Captain's over there just shaking his head. Mm-mm,
Nope.
nope. Had a rough week, did you, Captain?
Yeah, just a little bit.
It was a short week.
Just a little bit.
Hmm. Question for
Can
Rustbelt: how much money have you spent on your truck? So, Ken, I was actually thinking about doing a video on that. If we look into cost of what everything was. Obviously, some of the things that have been put on my truck have been donated or sponsored for the channel. Um, but if we look into each individual item as if I would have paid full costs on it, then I've put right around $20,000 into my truck right now.
and how much did you buy it for?
20,000. So, how about that one? $40,000 into a 2006 Chevy Silverado. How do you choke that one down? It is not making money by any means on that project.
Nope. Nope, not at all.
Derek said he's getting a Y-bridge and intercooler piping powder coated. What brand do you end up going
Sweet.
with? Some HSP goodies? Tell you what, I love me my HSP stuff. They are
It is.
so
I
nice.
will. I will admit it is pretty nice on your truck.
Hmm.
It does look very pretty.
Everyday Fleet Tech, you got 65 hours Christmas week?
That's
Wow.
pretty awesome. Anyone ever worked on an engine that is timed to cylinder 8?
I mean, there are Cadillac techs out there.
Yeah.
No, we didn't on that one. Derek went with the pusher system, the HSP thermostat housing. Yes, the thermostat adapter to bring the thermostat to the front side of the motor. That one's super nice though too. Yeah, Everyday Fleet Tech, he's got a whole fleet of stuff that he's got to work on, and that doesn't matter if it's, the day after
Holiday or not.
holiday, President's Day, doesn't matter. That stuff's always got to get maintained no matter what.
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, that really cuts down on a lot of people's productivity. But no, we did have a bit of a slower week, and it's usually pretty evident each year. You can usually come on and know that right around a week before Christmas or right at Christmas week, it starts to die down because during those weeks, people just don't want to bring their cars in. They're either doing that or they're traveling. The people
Hmm.
who do actually bring their cars in, they're ones that have sat at our dealership for the last week and aren't getting picked up for the next week or so either.
Yep.
Because If they're on vacation, then they really don't care about it. So there's no real rush on anything this week on top of that. Usually when we see things pick back up is about the second week of January. So this next week will be slow, and the week after that will also be slow. After that, that's when we start getting the people back from all their holiday vacations, traveling, and then that's also when we start to see people start to funnel in some of those tax checks. And they
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, we can actually fix our vehicles now."
Yep. Labor Day Fleets Tech says, "I'll work Christmas, but don't dare have me work Boxing Day. Getting my maple beer and fries with gravy."
Chips and gravy, baby. That's funny. We were busy at the independent shop, everyone in town for the holidays. Yeah, I mean, if you are at a bigger city where people are traveling too, I could see it still being a little bit busy. But where we live in BFE, Ohio, we don't have a whole lot of people traveling here for the holidays. If
No.
they were smart, at least.
Nathan says, "I'm looking into getting an electrical terminal release tools for my box. Which ones would you guys suggest?"
Now, there's a couple of different ones out there. Um, Lyle makes a pretty good set from what I saw, as well as who's the manufacturer that makes them for Snap-on. Um, I'm not a really good show on this one because, like I said, Lyle does make a pretty good one. But the ones that we use are actually a Mopar special tool that's made for Mopar. So we have those available in the shop. So I really didn't think it all that pertinent to go out and buy a whole nother set from another manufacturer for that one. The Mopar one, I know it carries, I think it's got like 10 or 12 pieces in with it. But like I said, lots of other guys commenting in here down below saying that they like their Lyle one as well.
And I will agree with Jaron. Lyle does make some good tools.
Yes. Yep, they do make some good, especially specialty tools, ones that are a good substitute to the tool trucks. There's some instances when the Lyle tools are actually better than the ones that you can get on the tool truck. One
Mm-hmm.
being for the Ford 5.3 Triton motors, the spark plug that in those motors inherently break in half, of course. Their spark plug remover tool is 100 times better than the stupid idea that Snap-on had to be able to get those spark plugs out. They're absolutely ridiculous.
Jaron also says exhaust hanger pliers must have.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I've been looking at getting one of those, but we just, again, one of those things where we just don't do a whole lot of exhaust work for that one. So I don't know, just hasn't been really high on the priority list there. There's so many tools that like you see at one point, and you're just like, ooh, that's awesome. Ooh, that's sweet. Like SEMA, that's all that entire week was. Me walking through that entire show, I'm like, oh wow, that's awesome. Oh, I'm keep walking. Oh wow, that's sweet. I want one of those. I'll grab that business card. I got a whole pile of business cards that I still haven't gotten like
Surprised you just didn't
halfway
have your.
through.
I'm surprised you just didn't have your phone out and be like, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture, and that way you just have pictures of them.
Now that would have been smart, but I was not playing smart guy during that whole week there. Not gonna
No.
lie, I took like no pictures that entire week. Very few. They also have a new evap line tool. It looks like hose clamp tool. I saw that one too. That one's pretty neat. I've not ever actually dealt with Lyle's warranty because the ones that I actually bought was through the Snap-on secondary catalog that they have. They do offer and sell some Lyle tools, and it's one of those things where I prefer to support my local Snap-on guy because I do like the fact that he does come to my shop, and they sell a lot of off-brand tools and everything. They're at the shop, and I like having him being able to handle anything that I have regardless of the make of whatever tool it is that I buy. I might be paying a couple extra bucks for it, obviously, for him to get it for me. And I totally understand that one. But when something goes wrong with it, he's actually going to take care of it for me. I don't have to ship that thing into Lyle for me and everything. I like having my Snap-on dealer being able to do that one. He's
Now,
really cool.
now, when you say you like to support your local Snap-on dealer, you mean you like to support his kids.
I mean, whatever he likes to put money into, he treats me right. I treat him right.
I
It's
will
one
I
of
will
the
agree.
things.
Kevin does a good job of taking care of us.
And I feel bad. That's another one of those things. Like some of these guys, especially like the ones here in the chat below, they say where they haven't seen their guy in a month, or they just have a crappy guy that they have on their route. It sucks for that one because I know how awesome it is to have a really good tool dealer, and how nice it is to have one that actually wants to work for you, and then to see guys that have one that really doesn't give two shits about anything.
Not like mean like the old Mac dealer we used to have.
Yeah, pretty much like that. But it sucks to be able to see those guys that they aren't getting the full experience out of a really good tool guy who is able to do those things for you, whether it be a Mac guy, a Matco, or a Snap-on rep dealer that's able to get you whatever you want at the dealership, no matter what you want, even if they don't make it.
I'll tell you what would be nice, talking about, the trucks and stuff, and specifically for us in our area, would be to have more options. Like, I mean, granted, there's a Mac guy that runs around but never comes to our shop, and then there's the Matco guy that comes on Mondays, and the guy and our Snap-on guy who comes on Thursdays. But to have like, a gear wrench, like if they have a truck, or if that, the other major tool companies, if I know logistically it doesn't make sense to have tool trucks in every single area of every part of the United States, but just to have that, even if it is once a month, just to have somebody like that different come around.
Now, I kind of agree with that, but I kind of don't. So, in the way that I agree with it, I think that having the competition in the area will drive sales to other areas, and it will make some of the sales better on each of the trucks. So I think you'll get better deals. They'll run more specials, they'll run more promos because they know that there's more tool trucks coming there and it's more competition to it. Obviously, in a competition atmosphere, they're going to give better deals. But at the same time, I also like to see what I have with my dealer and having that really good relationship with one or two guys, and him being able to get whatever I want from it, even if it's from another dealer or anything like that.
Mhm.
But having that through one or two trucks. Plus, I'm pretty sure that I'd get in a lot of trouble and I would have more truck accounts than I really want or need to.
This is true as well. Mc, McBake says he agrees. He loves it when the Snap-on guy comes in wearing MC and all Matco.
He does. He gets a little like, "What are you wearing today? Like, what is this? What is it?
He's like,
Here." And
he's
he's
like,
like
don't wear this on
throwing
my
clothes
truck.
at you. Yeah. And gear wrench, that would be another cool one to be able to see. But again, our Snap-on, as well as the Matco dealer that we have in their supplemental catalogs, they have a lot of the gear wrench stuff available to us.
Mhm.
But that's just my personal opinion, and that one is just having that real good relationship with one or two of them. I think that it's nice for that one. Mac dealer that comes Mondays. That sucks.
It'd be funny to work in a place where Matco and Snap-on or two competing trucks come at the same day and roughly the same time.
Yeah,
Could you imagine?
yeah. If they came at the same time, that would so suck. And I'm really sure that they specifically would change that one. They would never do that on purpose, just because you'd be killing business one way or another.
They're out there, they're out there fighting in the parking lot, like they're fighting over some woman. It's like, no, I'm better. No, I'm better.
Yep, I do too. Heavy wrench. I wish we had a Mac guy too, because Mac has a whole nother list of tools that a lot of other manufacturers don't have too. But it's not worth having that Mac brand there if the representative is going to put a bad taste into our mouth and not want us to buy them in the first place. Just my 2 cents on that one.
Everyday Fleet Tech said, about to use the box cleaners for the first time. Ordered it when you had them on live.
Oh yeah, you have to
I
give us
say,
a review on that one.
didn't he won, didn't he?
I think he won one after he ordered some, possibly. No, I remember on the live stream he asked how to order them, and he had ordered them right then at that point. Box cleaners.
Box cleaners.
They are
Why do I feel
pretty
like
awesome. We're going to give them a nice little plug right now. If you guys haven't seen that episode where we talked to the two guys who started out the box cleaners, they turned out very, very well. A lot of the box cleaners stuff is some really high end cleaning products for your toolbox, both in the spray, it's like a spray clean, as well as the wax supplement, too.
yeah, don't eat it. It's not good.
Isn't it like, I want to say it's like 30 some bucks for the box where it comes with each one of those, as well as the applicator pad and two really nice
Yeah,
microfiber towels.
I've got the microfibers around here somewhere. I don't know what I do with them.
You'll just take my word. There's two really
They are
nice ones that
nice.
comes in there.
Yes, they are very, very nice.
Oh, that's right. Everyday Fleet Tech won the Vampire tool set.
Oh, that's right.
What did you think about the vampires that you ended up getting from them? I want to know your opinion on that one. I know, and Everyday Fleet Tech, if you guys haven't checked him out, he does a really good job on his channel. He's like me, he doesn't do unboxing videos of tools. He actually does full reviews on them as he puts them through the tests in the place where he works. So it's
And if you're into salty rants, you'll like it. You'll like his channel as well.
he is the general of salt. Well, that's all right. We love you, Chad.
LB7 Junkie says, howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy.
What's up, buddy? If you guys haven't done so already, there's like 45, 50 people in here and only 10 likes. Let's hit that thumbs up button, people.
Heck yeah.
We're all hanging out, having a good time here, getting ready to usher in the new year. Who's ready for 2020?
Barbara Walters.
Baba Wawa.
Baba Wawa. This is 2020.
Wonder how well the 2020 New Year's glass is going to look compared to the other years now.
I don't know.
No, don't care. No.
I mean, we were over at Johnny's today, and I saw the promo for like the New Year's Eve countdown that usually Ryan Seacrest or somebody like that does, and this year it's Steve Harvey.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's kind of cool. I mean,
so Fleet Tech said he liked them, but he hated the grip. A few times he tried the grip at the end, didn't extract the break and screw. Are you talking about how the pliers grip themselves, or the actual grip of what your hand holds onto? Now, I will totally admit that the grip of where your hand holds onto, they feel really weird, especially compared to other pliers that I'm used to seeing from other manufacturers. And you know, it's one of those things where you like to see it. If you like it, you like it. It kind of works.
I'll tell you, out of that entire set that we got, the ones I use the most and like the most are the little black ones. I use those things all the time.
Now, yes, I agree with that one. Those little black ones, especially for pulling fuses and small screws, maybe some broken off tiny little those little 8mm head bolts that break off. I like using them for that one.
Yeah. But yeah, I use those. I don't know. I will agree. I know which one he's talking about. He's talking about the bigger, meatier handle, like the one that almost has a plastic handle feel to it. Those do have a weird grip to them, and they do have a lot of nooks and crannies to them to where they would be hard to clean. So I totally get what he's talking about.
I gotcha. Ready, Fleet Truck. Big Beg tried to use them the other day. That's just because he broke off a bolt in a tranny pan. Yeah, let's hear this story there, McBake, on over torquing certain things with electric ratchets into transmission pans.
Don't feel bad. I did it too.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty on that one. Max Talon Grip 16-inch long reach pliers, 3-piece set. Must haves. All right. I'll take that one into account. We'll put that one on the list to at least have a look at. I keep a list of all of the wants and needs of like all of my tool stuff, but the list is getting to the point where it's kind of ridiculous how many how many things that people send me, and I put them onto my lists on my phone and just seeing how much stuff, you're like, wow, that's a lot of stuff that people want to see me try. Like, I will never get to half of it. I wish I could. Not saying he's unhappy with them, but they've held my abuse without dulling the teeth. I gotcha.
And I mean, that's the biggest thing with with pliers, anyways. I mean, you get some brands that you use them like 2 or 3 times, and the teeth just wear off of them. And there's some that the teeth are too big and they don't grip right. I think the Vampire made a very good happy medium between having the hardness of teeth and then you know having them to where they're actually a good gripping
Hmm.
um, word.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
doing good
well
on
they
English
grip.
today.
No, see, I have people to say, hey guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up, and immediately we get 2 thumbs down. That is what I'm talking about.
I
This,
bet one of them's Chaka.
or was it Mr. Salty himself? Mr.
No,
Salty, did
it's
give us a
probably
thumbs
it was
down.
probably Baker for
It
calling him out
probably
for
was.
calling him out on his transmission pan job.
Poor Baker. Poor Baker. Half-inch impact down to 3/8. Need to use the wobble extension. Now that's what we call riding the lightning right there. You get your big half-inch impact, get 2 reducers as well as some wobble sockets on the end, and you pull that trigger just full blast, and never
Boom.
fails. It's just gonna fail, and it's gonna flop around, and it's gonna fling itself somewhere, always somewhere. And I'd say 80% of the time it's gonna fling itself back at your face. That's my luck of it.
It's like mechanic Russian roulette.
Hmm. Yep, exactly. So for 2020 and coming up, I know there's a lot of really cool things up on the channel that I have got plans for and everything, but I want to see some of you guys' input on some other stuff that you guys may want to see coming up for the channel as well. I've got so much stuff that I need to plan for this next year, and planning is going to be I guess a little bit of a nightmare in a lot of the stuff that I want to be able to do and want to be able to see. I want to be able to go to a couple of expo shows to be able to bring you guys some new tools to the whole industry. We've got 1 or 2 really cool builds coming this year, as well as keeping the Duramax content still moving. I'm not going to be turning that project off. Um, but yeah, we're going to be doing some really cool stuff. So, Captain, what do you want to see on the channel?
On your channel or on my
Or
channel?
whatever, either one.
On my channel, I just need to I just need to come up with content. I'll tell you that's that I one of my resolutions for the new year is going to be to try to get to the point of actually creating and coming up with content. My biggest problem with YouTube, and Rustbelt knows because we talk about this all the time. It's like I have a hard time coming up with content. And I don't know if it's because I'm not a creative type or if it's the lack of experience I have. Because considering I've only been in this field for 3 years. Kyle's been in this field for what, 10 years now?
Yeah, going on that.
So, I mean, he's got a lot under his belt. There's stuff he can rattle off, and there's stuff that he can talk about off the top of his head and not even bat an eye or have to think about anything. Me, I don't have that ability yet. There's some stuff I can talk about, but it's just, coming up with the content and the know-how and the knowledge and putting it all in one and putting it into a video. It was easy when I was in school because I could talk about the whole process of going through school. And it was easy whenever I was doing, when I was doing my intro to automotive videos, because it was stuff that I was learning at the same time. But whenever it got to the point, once I hit flat rate and started doing stuff, it's like everything just kind of slowed down and made it. And it wasn't the fact that I lost the drive to do YouTube videos, because I still want to do them. It's just it's hard for me to come up with the content. I don't have the bank account to have nifty tools every week
Right.
like this
Well,
guy.
yeah.
um, so I mean, it's just it's hard for me to it's hard for me to come up with videos, and I'm going to try to make a point in next year for my channel specifically to try to be more proactive of trying to come up with content and coming up with stuff to where I can you know present stuff to you guys that's not boring and not overly done, or because I mean, it's just like who was it said? Somebody just said it. I just saw it in chat. Now it's gone. Somebody said a tool truck tour would be sweet, and then
That's
somebody
what I
else,
think you should do
and then
personally.
somebody else came up and said there's enough tool truck tour videos out there.
But it's not, for me at least, when I watch the guys like Coon Trucking and everything and their tool truck tours, it's not about what's on the truck, because every single tool truck, 95% of them, you're going to see the same stuff on them over and over. Every once in a while, you'll get a premiere of something new that may have just come out and you haven't seen it yet on your specific tool truck. But I think it's the interaction of which you have with the people, your other employees that go on the tool truck, as well as your interaction maybe with the guy who runs the tool truck, how you, I guess, finagle and haggle for the prices on the tools. I think that might be cool to see with that one, because me, I finagle and I haggle with them like nobody's business.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's just maybe something to do on that one.
I mean, I could probably do. I mean, once we get to the first of the year, I could probably do a tool truck tour video of Kevin's truck and possibly Eric's truck if he wants me to. I don't want to do it without them being okay with it.
I think they'd be
But
all right with that.
but but yeah, I mean that would definitely be something to do. I definitely want to, when we go down and do our judging that one day,
Right, which is going to be something really cool too.
which we'll talk about that in a minute. But when we go down and do that, I want to do some video over that, and then I also want to do, like, if I can get a hold of some of the people that are down there, some of the professors, kind of get an update for Sinclair to kind of go along with my college videos. Because honestly, I still have people messaging me on my college videos about Sinclair, asking questions and stuff, which I was kind of surprised about. But so I would like to do an update video on Sinclair just to kind of point out new stuff or anything like that. But
Let's see what happens when you don't tighten an oil filter. Yeah, there's a video. Let's not.
I've already done one of those.
Yeah, let's not do that one. We don't need to get any more detail in
Yeah.
on that whole subject.
No, we've already done one of those videos, and we're not going to do another one of those videos. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Ken Grafe had a really good question there. Do you think Harbor Freight will sponsor tool trucks since the new Icon tools are out? Now, I think they're fishing with this one. I think they threw the Icon tools out there as kind of like a little bit of a bait to see what and how the people have and take that one into reaction in the actual mechanic community. If they end up having really good turnout for that one, I still don't see them bringing out their whole line of tool trucks into the market, but maybe doing an offering of a third party on maybe some other tool trucks, kind of like what Lyle and everything does, being offered into systems with Snap On or with Matco or something like that, just as a supplemental, cheaper tool that is offered someplace for Snap-on and the bigger guys to make money. Still, it is one of those ideas for them. But I don't think they're actually going to have tool trucks themselves.
Yeah, I don't foresee Harbor Freight putting out tool trucks either. I mean, I could see them, like you said, maybe putting some of the Icon tools on other trucks, but I mean, I don't see people be like, oh, $10 for a grinder. I'll buy that.
And speaking of
What?
Captain Salty, there's Mr. Everyday Fleet Tech in the
I
house.
heard something about your grinder account. What's that?
My grinder
You
account?
said something about grinder. I mean, I don't judge.
Grinder. Hey, we'll talk about that after the show.
What really grinds my gears?
Boy, grinds my gears. You'll work with me. I'm propping my phone up on a genuine Waffle House napkin holder while I'm at work taking a quick coffee break.
Waffle House. Now that's legit right there. I like
Wait,
that.
are you-
Fancy around here.
Are you drinking a cup of noodles?
No, coffee.
Oh, it is the
Oh.
Waffle House coffee.
Wait,
it looked
Wait,
like
are
the
you
Mary
are you
Jane
legit
noodles.
at Waffle House?
No, I'm at work. We actually had Waffle House cater to us because I was here Christmas Day. Waffle House catered to us. They left us a whole stack of styrofoam cups and their actual paper napkin dispenser. I'm going, that's in my toolbox from now on.
Totally
you might be
hanging
fancy
on to
Rust
that
Belt
one.
with your monster Snap-on box, but do you have a genuine Waffle House napkin dispenser? No, you do not.
No, I
No, we do not.
definitely do not. However,
You di-
I have a really fancy Christmas Story leg lamp replica centered on the
Ooh.
very top of my toolbox right now, and it hurts
that
the
no one
captain
cares about.
so much to be able to see that one every single day.
No, I can't. I honestly can't wait until you take it down.
My buddy got it
that
for me,
lamp.
and it's one of those. It's not like a full size lamp. Like one of these years,
It's a
I
night
will
light.
get one of those. It's just one of the night lights that just plugs in to the wall. But how awesome would that be to have a full 3-foot leg lamp right in the middle on top of that
And the funny
toolbox?
thing is, one of these days, it's going to fall, it's going to get broken, and you two
Oh,
are
yeah.
inadvertently
Oh,
going
I
to
hope
that
it does.
entire scene.
I hope it does and falls
Always
straight on
hated
me.
it. You did it.
Oh, I will know because there's cameras for that
okay.
one.
Yep. If it falls off his toolbox, I just hope it hits him on the way down. But
Oh God.
He's that
Would that
salty
be?
about it. We want to
know
know
what?
where
I
does
think
this
he's trying to
originate?
say
All this
you need one.
hatred.
dude, we've talked about this. We
Oh,
have
we
talked about my
haven't,
hatred
though.
for that movie.
No, because it's not been rational.
It is child. It stems from my childhood of having to watch it 24 hours a day every Christmas, and it's just I can't stand the movie. I've watched it. It's not like I've like seen like bits and pieces and it's like, oh, I don't like this movie. No, I have watched it from start to finish several times, and I just can't stand the movie. I think it is dumb. I think it is a dumb premise. I think it is just horrible acting. I mean, and I just don't like it.
Funny thing is, I've never seen it front to back, like ever.
I know what I'm getting someone for Christmas next year.
God damn it, Fleet Tech.
And 45 other people on here enjoying the stream as well.
I'm gonna come to your place and steal your Waffle House napkin holder.
You can't get my box.
Oh, I'll figure it out. We'll make something happen.
Hey, ever since that meth head jumped the fence and got on that airplane, we now have razor wire around the airport, okay? You can't come in. Actually, that's a true story. That did happen.
Oh
No
Lord.
shit.
Yeah, that was earlier this year. Funnier than shit. I laughed.
Jaron says,
Oh.
you know what you don't see? Line pressure testing.
In the way of what? Like checking line pressure on transmissions, doing manual checks on line pressure for that, or like hydraulic.
My
Because
world.
hydraulics would not be my world. I
Nope.
do not have the accoutrement to be able to be testing that
That's a $5
Well,
word
highest
right
I
there.
got here is a tick over 5,000 psi.
Yeah, Yeah, not even close. As a matter of fact, one of my high dollar oil pressure gauges, snap on oil pressure gauges last week, hooked it up to a newer Jeep Cherokee. One of the ones with the fancy intake system. It actually has the multi-air system that is fully pneumatic valves that actually opens the valves. That can open each of them as far as it wants, how many times it wants per cylinder, and it's pretty cool system. Well, we have one that's got an issue with bleeding off oil pressure over time, so they wanted me to get active oil pressure readings on this one while it was running. Well, it's supposed to run at like 85-ish psi of oil pressure, and majority of the automotive oil pressure test gauges go up to 100 psi. So this
Yeah.
one didn't know it pulses with the engine RPM because it runs off the
Whoop.
exhaust cam. It actually primes the pressure and then continues to prime it each revolution of the cam, and it would push through about 110 psi. So if you think of like the oil pressure as being pulse width modulated, 110 psi, and obviously between things it
Ooh.
would drop down to like 60. So average it was like 80 psi, but it would pulse up to like 110. So this
Nice.
gauge was just bam, 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 bam,
And bent the
just
needle.
Hating
bending the needle.
everything.
It bent the needle straight over 90
Oh.
degrees over. I'm like, well, you don't see that one every day.
I bent one of mine one time, and after that, I said, "Fuck that! We're in the digital age. I'm just going digital gauge. That's it.
Hmm.
It makes life so much easier,
Well, in your
especially
line,
when you
you're
start
doing
going
a lot
blind."
more testing, right? You're testing a lot more hydraulics. It's a
Oh God.
requirement, though.
Well, you have to think like this piece of equipment I'm working on out here now. It operates. Every single function is hydraulically driven, and so basically, you have a Cummins on it. It's that one out there. It's not the 3.3. It's a little 4.5, 4.7. Shit, I don't remember. Anyway, one of them 4 bangers.
Hmm.
And it has two hydraulic pumps bolted to the rear end of the rear of the engine instead of a tranny. And so that hydraulic fluid's dispersed everywhere. So moving forward, backward, lifting, everything is hydraulically actuated. And it's just
Hmm.
getting a signal to all these different solenoids from a huge complex system of wiring, resistors, switches, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, every single aspect of this thing is hydraulic.
David Ochoa asks, "Do you have to go to UTI or college to become a master lube tech?" I don't think the whole 3 words of master and lube tech has to go together, because I don't know, it being master of being a lube tech, being a master technician, it doesn't matter what part of that you're asking. No, you do not have to go to UTI or any kind of college to become that. However, it does help to facilitate some of the training in a faster fashion to be able to become a master certified technician, at least in some of them.
McBake says,
Agreed.
I'm a master lube tech.
But kind of shifting gears to change
Yeah.
subject, those are the handles I was talking about.
Yeah.
I'm weird when it comes to cleaning tools, so all that crap in there, you'll never get that out unless you just sit there with a toothpick and scrape it out. I mean, I like the pliers, but what's the point of the handle?
I got that too. It's not ergonomic. Like, you feel them in your
No.
hand, and they're not ergonomic at all. But I don't know what it is that they're made out of. They grip like nobody's business still in my hand.
Yeah, they work. I mean, they
Mhm.
definitely work.
Yeah, they grip for that. They don't feel right, I guess.
They do have
Yeah.
a weird fit in the hand. I will say that.
Yeah. So between that and then the couple of times I tried using the little group things in the jaws to grab hold of some broken fasteners to extract them. I'm not saying it's the tool's fault. I don't know. It just
Didn't work.
could not
It's
grip
the
on
user.
it hard enough. It couldn't. I tried. I tried like hell.
Now, like the really crappy needle nose, did it like shift over on itself?
No, No,
No,
they
he
did
didn't.
fine.
Okay, that's good.
No, oh, I mean, I was holding on for dear life, and
Kind of like those vice grips, where if you get some cheaper, crappy vice grips,
yeah,
where you
Yeah.
clamp it down and you start to twist it, and the actual teeth
Yeah,
like
yep.
twist
Yeah,
on
the
themselves.
jaws will like slide. They'll like slide like this.
Oh, I've got a set of them out in my box now. But yeah, I mean, you can still see there's metal shavings inside where it was trying, but
Hmm.
it's just it didn't have enough bite, so to say. So it was like just
Gotcha.
shearing off flakes of metal. But
Gotcha.
I mean,
Well,
again, it could have just been the hardened fasteners I was grabbing hold of. I don't know.
eventually they're coming out with the. Are they coming out with the vice grip
Vice grip
version of
style.
those? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're supposed to be coming out with a vice grip version. They actually debuted them there at SEMA, and I think they push out a couple of them. I haven't gotten a hold of them myself yet, but hope to here maybe in the next couple of weeks or so.
That'd be
If
Might
you
nice.
be able to
talk
do
to
that.
them, I'll tell you. There are two things I would love to see from them.
Yeah, what's
I
that?
get the whole gimmick thing of the, reverse little jaws on the inside to twist it out. That's fine. But one thing I noticed about these, all right, we've all gotten a hold of those channel locks, those pliers, to where the teeth on the inside, they dull out fairly quickly.
Hmm.
And I've even had some Nipex, Knipex, whatever, I don't give a damn. But I've had those roll over pretty quick. These, I mean, I've grabbed hold of grade 8 bolts going the wrong way and just hammered down on it, and they did not dull. They are still just as sharp as the day I received them.
Hmm.
So if they come up with some like alignments pliers or whatever, where you just have the teeth going the same way all the way across, and some channel locks, that'd be money. I'd
Yeah,
buy
it
it.
would.
I think so too. And it's the Japanese steel that they use in those are really nice high-end steel that they use for them. Why they are
Hmm.
so hard. But I like you said, I get where they're coming from with the curved nose for that one. But as far as technicians go, we don't really have a need for that. At least where
No.
we're at,
Hmm.
I would much rather have something that sits flush across each other there on the grip and
Yep.
has more of the hardened teeth up towards the nose of it to be able to grab onto what I need.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
agree.
like I have the snap-on hammer forged, pliers,
Oh yeah.
and the teeth in these hold up way better than the snap-ons. I can't tell you how many times now I've had to warranty these things out. So I
Gotcha.
mean,
Yep. Well,
especially if
even
they decide to make some cutting dikes,
Uh,
man,
I
if they
I
hold up
brought
that
that one.
well,
I brought those up to them my very first time talking with them a couple months back. So we're gonna see where that one goes here at the first of the
man,
year.
it'd be great.
That's what I'm
Cutting
hoping for.
dikes and flush cuts. I use flush cuts like nobody's
Exactly.
business.
That was literally
I'm
the
a,
first two things that I said to them.
oh, I'll put it out there. People, well, what's the difference? Just use cutting dikes, dude. If you
Nope.
use zip ties and use them in an engine bay and use cutting dikes on them, I hate your guts. Every other mechanic hates your guts.
So does my hands. My hand hates you a lot.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
just fillet city. No, no, God, no.
I mean,
That's all. Our,
I'm personally excited for the vice grip ones, like we were talking, because you were talking about how like your snap-on ones you've had to warranty them out because the teeth
oh yeah,
dull at them. Um, I've got a set of snap-on vice grips, and mine are just dull as all get out. Like I need to see
yeah,
if I can get those warranted out, and if Vampire can come out with the ones like with their um with their pliers where they got the hardened teeth on them and they have a lot more longevity to them, I think those will be really nice.
oh
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Jaren's specified trans pressure line check. So, yeah, I mean, we might be able to do some of that if I get something into the shop, something that lasts over the weekend where I have to do some diagnostics like that. We could do that. Something that uses our transmission simulator. That would be something cool to do on a video. See my mouse ask, what's all of your opinions on the icon wrenches? And I think I'm going to speak unanimously to the fact that none of us have touched them. None of us will probably ever touch them for that
Nope.
amount, aside from putting my hands on them in the store. And that's about where we're going to end that one.
Yep. I
I
have.
went to the store, held them in my hands, adamant. I'm going to purchase these. and I couldn't even walk out the door. I drove half an hour to the store, got them in my hands, just like this is coming out of my pocket. If somebody wants to buy them for me, fuck it, yeah, I'll take it. Sorry, don't mean to ruin your channel,
That's all
but
right.
I I don't know how some people feel about swearing on the live streams. Whatever. I try to be courteous, um, but they were just such junk. I'm going, why? Why spend this money when there are way better options out there? Even if you go for, and again, everybody thinks, oh, well, you just want to get on the tool truck. No, there are wrench companies out there that offer wrench sets for not much more than what Icon charges, or around the same cost, and it's far better quality.
They are. They really are, especially wrenches. There's a whole lot of companies that are getting into the really high quality wrench game right now. And it's
Mhm.
cool to see so many of them coming out, but they're just one of them that they did not hit anything special with what they
No,
came out with.
No,
It's
no,
not possible at the dollar amount that they're going with either. I don't think
yeah.
so. First.
And I mean honestly, I mean I've looked at them in the store too. Like when I was there doing a video over Harbor Freight stuff, I looked at them as well, and I'm like, there's just nothing special about them. I mean, plus, I mean, I've got all the ratchets I need, uh, all the wrenches I need at the moment in my toolbox. I don't need more, and none of the stuff really jumped out to me to be anything special. So I'm kind of like on the same boat with you guys. I mean, if somebody wants to give me some
here's
icons, I'll do reviews over them, but that's about it.
here's kind of the way I see it. We've all seen the Chinese knockoffs where overseas they'll make a car, call it something else, but it's blatantly obvious they were trying their damnedest to make a carbon copy, but it
Mhm.
come out looking pretty bad in every aspect. That's Icon Tools. Oh, we're just as good as Snap On. We got the same font as Snap On. We're doing everything we can to be Snap
Yep.
On. And it's kind of like, wow, it's when the people take a Ferrari body kit and put it on the Fieros. You can try all you want, but guess
That's
what it is?
exactly how I put my rendition to the whole Icon tool line. From what I've
Now,
seen and what I've used in them, I always put it in this fashion. I said, okay, so you have a Porsche 911 Carrera, brand new one, and then you have a Daewoo. Daewoo comes out with this Porsche killer. All right. And it may be a fantastic car, engineered great with German engineering, whatever with it. But even if it's apples to apples, perfect comparison to that one, how many people in the marketing sense are going to buy from the Porsche side a Daewoo? They
None.
can't. You do not have the pedigree, and you do not have the amount of time in the industry getting through what guys in the industry actually want to be able to make a supercar to the event of a Porsche. It doesn't happen.
Yep.
Even if it did, even if you made it just as good, it's still got a Daewoo badge on it.
Yep.
Can't do anything
I
about that.
mean, it was the same way with their toolboxes. I was going, nobody in their right mind's going to buy that. And to this day, I have not seen a YouTube video of somebody buying a brand new Icon toolbox.
I haven't either.
Never seen it.
no. Now, not to drudge up old I guess feelings. We'll say it that way. The icon stuff. How much do you guys think that the whole controversy that happened between everybody on YouTube and Icon and Harbor Freight and everything like that, how much do you think that damaged or hurt their brand?
It didn't. If anything, it brought more light to it. I think
Yeah.
that was the goal in the first place, just to have more brand recognition.
So you think bad press was actually good press in this aspect?
Any press is good press.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they would have rolled out the whole Icon line, and they would not have gone to a single YouTuber or a single Instagram person at all to be able to bring any of these things out? How many people would have been, going to them just for trying them out? How many people do you think actually went there to try them out just
Yep.
from the YouTube videos alone?
Yeah.
I mean, it got thousands and thousands and thousands of
Mhm.
people into their store just to see them,
Yeah.
just from what the YouTube people brought them. Now, I'm not going to
Oh, yeah.
say that turned out to sales every single time, but it got people walking into the stores. Marketing
got
with them
people
was
talking.
genius.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I actually, up until I think it was about a month and a half ago, I have never deleted a video on my account. I took down the majority of my icon videos because it's just like when people ask me, well, how do you feel about this person? No, full good and well, I've had some squabble with them or something like that. I don't name people's names if I don't care for their stuff or if I have an issue with them. Because if you say somebody's name, especially publicly, that puts that out there. So if somebody's never heard of it, they might go and look at it. So it's the same way with me ranting and raving about icon tools. Somebody might have been living under a rock and never heard about it and stumbled
Mhm.
across my video. Or they could have heard about it and said, well, this guy, he's got to be wrong. And they're still going to go and look at it.
Yeah.
Give no press.
Yep,
If
that's
you don't
very
like
true.
something or somebody, never mention it, never mention it publicly.
And that's what I actually, my thing is to do with a lot of these tool companies that I do initial testing for on their stuff. I said, it's all fine and dandy. You sent this to me. You're not getting a good review right off the bat just because you sent it to me. I said, if it doesn't end up working out and it ends up being a piece of junk, I'm just not going to review it. It's not going to show up on
Yep.
my channel because I have so much other stuff that is worth the time and effort that I have to put through to you guys that I don't have time to put junk stuff through here. I might say
Mhm.
one little thing about it here or there, but I'm not going to make a video on a certain tool being junk. That's
Yeah.
just me for that one.
Sounds like you if you've got that much stuff, you need to do a trashy tools of the week, and just
Yeah.
one that just bashes all these bad tools.
Luke Steele had a good question in here, and we can go into this one for you guys. See what your rendition is. Looking at shop flashlights, looking for what, in your opinion, is the longest battery life, durability, and brightness. Now, I'm kind of a shop light or a flashlight whore in this
Yeah,
aspect.
you are. Dude, I counted them up. You have like 7 or 8 in your toolbox.
Yeah, just in like the hutch
Easily.
area.
Just
So
in the hutch area.
Yeah, I have certain ones for certain things that I like them in what they do in different areas. So obviously under the hood light, I've tried out a couple of different ones. I have a snap-on one that's the long tube light. For inside of like ProMasters conversion vans, I use the SP Tools, the Cobb one big floodlight. Love using that
Yep.
one. Inside underneath dashes, I like to use the SP Tools, the wireless charging ones that has the little light and the tall light with both the light on the top and the side, so I can either magnet it to something or hook it to something anywhere I need to. And then in my pocket is always my Streamlight stylus, but probably my best go-to light that is just in any random condition, like I would grab this one first, would probably be my snap on the e-carb, the one that has the blade that like flips up and over, has the light shine out from the blade. That's my go-to.
Yep.
Now, if you like that snap-on one, have you tried out the Streamlight Switchblade yet?
No, I haven't, and I actually put a request into my Matco dealer does have Streamlight stuff. I
Get
said, "Hey,
it.
the next time when you get one of those Switchblade ones in stock, because he has the ones that aren't the Switchblade style in there." I said, "When I see that
Mhm.
one, I really want to try that one out."
I have two.
Well, looks like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be adding more to the Matco truck account. All right.
Yeah, they're good. They're really freaking good. But then again, for work, I'm just a Streamlight addict. I've been using them.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way, I was buying them pre-LED. So, yeah.
Hmm. Now this, I
But for
did
the
just ended up getting one of the Streamlight Stylus Pro ones that has the little end that slides up that you can actually
Yep,
charge. Why they haven't got it to have their Streamlight, the styluses in wireless charging yet, I don't know, and I wish they would. That would be the
agreed.
coolest thing that Streamlight could ever do is to make a wireless charging pocket LED flashlight.
Well, you know that you can actually make those anything that's got those micro USB ports to them. You can buy adapters that will
Yeah,
do.
they have the magnetic whatever adapter things that you can
Well, no. I'm
have for
talking
that.
no. I'm talking about you can actually buy the QI strips and install them into stuff. Like you would just snap it into the thing and you would like tape it on there, and then you could set it down on a charging pad and it'll charge.
But in that specific one, you could not do that because it has that whole sleeve that has to slide up to keep the flashlight waterproof.
This is true, and
Yeah.
I fully understand
Yeah.
that. I'm just saying you have the option.
Yeah.
Then again, in modern age, I think all cordless tools should be wireless charging.
I think
I mean,
every single one from here on out is going to have to. If they want to keep
it
up with the
needs to.
times, it will.
I mean,
I think it's.
realistically,
I
how cool would
honestly
it be
think.
to have a pad on top of your Snap-on box? You get done with your Milwaukee or whatever your flavor is, don't set it down. It's charging. That's it.
I would 100% agree with that, but I still feel like there is a place and time for having a actual charging, where you take the battery off and put it into a dock. Because I mean, your wireless charging, yeah, it's convenient, yeah, it's nice to just be able to set stuff on there and hit charge. But on top of that, if you're using something and it completely is dead, or the wireless charging is only going to charge so fast, and then you're waiting so long for that. So you would either need to have the ability to wirelessly charge batteries and set those on there and swap them out. I think just having the battery packs removable and wireless charge would be a better option than just having wirelessly charged tools.
Oh, well, that's what I was talking about.
Oh,
Having
okay.
like your battery packs where you
Mhm.
can remove them.
Gotcha. Okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah, the
I was
battery
like,
pack themselves should
it's like
be,
a solid battery in there. You got to set the tool on there, wait 3 hours for it to charge, and then you can use it again.
yeah, that'd be a pain.
Yeah.
I think that I don't think it's going to happen this year. But I think in the next 2 years, we're going to see one of the manufacturers jump forward in their battery stuff, and we're going to see some wirelessly charging battery packs. And if I had to put money on anybody, I'm going to throw my money in at Milwaukee. I think you're going to see the M12 batteries come out with a wireless charging option before anybody.
If we're talking about cordless tools as a whole, I'm putting my money on Ryobi.
Really, the cheaper line from them? I don't think so.
And here's the reason why. Because their batteries are so universal.
You know the same manufacturer makes Milwaukee and Ryobi, right?
Shut up, I'm talking. Whatever, Kyle. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Freaking Kyle. Always gotta be the rigor.
That's just my thought, and I don't think that it's going to happen on an 18-volt line right away. I mean, I guess it might, just because QI charging would probably be easier to get in that much space. But as far as like the 3 and the 4 amp hour M12 batteries, I think those will be the first ones that you'll see with wireless charging capabilities, and that'll be freaking awesome to have. I can get rid of all of my stupid individual chargers in my charging drawer and just roll out a big QI wireless charging pad.
Yep.
I think that'd be freaking sweet, right?
I'm gonna look
That would
something
be
up.
cool, but I'll tell you the technology I want to see before that. I think battery operated tools, one, the batteries need to be reduced in size dramatically.
And weight.
And the tool size itself. Yeah, size and weight for the entire tool and battery pack. Because I just made a video about it the other day. I don't think, I don't know how you feel, but I hear a lot of people say air tools are dead nowadays. I disagree, because when you look at cost, power, size, and weight, air tools still beat all battery operated ones out there. It's a
90%
fact.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. Yeah.
So I was wondering, just by looking, if you can find a QI wireless receiver that you could actually like take one of your old batteries apart, wire it in there, and put it on the bottom side, and then put it all back together, and then you'd be able to retrofit your old batteries with QI charging.
I guess if
I
there was
don't know. I
enough
stay in my
room.
lane. I'll blow myself up if I try it.
I'm
an
totally with you
airport.
right there.
Homeland
if
Security will come pointed sideways, lock me up for building bombs and shit.
My
No,
my
no.
toolbox is smoking out the sides. I wouldn't trust anything that I put together to sit
I
inside my
followed the
toolbox.
YouTube video. The guy said,
if you're gonna blow yourself up, please YouTube video it and put it online for you so we can all
please
enjoy
God do. Oh, they're fantastic.
You have to
I
have it
love
on
it.
the
film.
You could be
increment
like that. You could be
mechanics.
like that YouTuber who like electrocutes himself all the time.
That dude is hilarious.
The
I
Middle
love
Eastern
him.
dude. He's hilarious.
There is no better way to educate about electricity than just burn the piss out of yourself. It's
Yep.
fantastic.
Yep. I think that would be freaking cool. No, I totally agree with you with the sizing, and that's why I pushed that battery ideas that I don't think they're going to jump forward, because this last year in M18 batteries, that's when they switched from the 18650 batteries to the, what's the 21 something 40? Isn't that the new battery that they're putting in the new Milwaukee
Yeah, it's like the
M18s?
22 480 or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
that sounds right.
something
But
like that.
they upgraded, so it's more amp hours for the size of what it is. It's pretty cool to see. But like I said, with them just upgrading that this last year, I don't see them renovating or redoing a battery pack for at least another year. So this year, I personally think that we will see the making smaller of tools. You will see all the Milwaukee Fuels and the Snap-on. I think Snap-on will actually probably go through a huge retrofit this year when it comes to some of their electric tools, especially the 14438s, because
They've got to.
that one hasn't had an update since day one. What, like 6 years ago? Like
Mhm.
I'm
not at
still
all.
rocking them.
I still have it too. Like I still love the battery line, especially the batteries
Mhm.
last a really long time, and they're the most slender and weigh the least out of any of those 12 or
Yep.
14 volt systems. I love them, but their tools just need updated so badly, and I wish Snap-on would put more money into R&D on those tools instead of advertising.
Ryan Boris said JRC54 made a better 14.4 battery, and you guys have you've noticed that he
Yeah.
hasn't posted any videos lately. So maybe one of them blew up on him or something.
Pow!
Poor Jim.
Ground Movement says, as a beginner mechanic, should I invest in SK Tools or Snap-on?
Depends on what you can
No,
afford.
Yeah, it all depends on how much you can afford.
it depends on how beginner you say you are. If you're
Yeah.
just getting into the industry,
You don't need either
for
one
the
of them.
first year, stay off a tool truck.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. Stay to what you can afford. Do not get any tool debt your first
Nope.
year in, is my recommendation as a lube technician. 1 year in, that way you at least know that this is the profession that you are going to go into, especially as a younger technician coming in. If you're coming in as a lube tech, you want to make sure that this is going to be the correct career choice for you.
Mhm.
You know, how stupid would it be to wrap up like 10 grand into this tool stuff, and then you're like, working at this Ford dealership, it's pretty hard. I don't really enjoy
Ooh.
it this much, so I'm going to have to switch careers now. Sorry, buddy. Sorry on
Too
that one.
soon. Too soon, Kyle.
But yeah,
I don't
definitely.
even know if he's in here anymore, to be honest.
But yeah, that would be my recommendation.
I can't tell you how many new lube techs I've seen go onto the Snap-on truck, and I see them rolling off a new Master Series box or something. I'm going, wait, what the hell are you doing? Well, I'm gonna have somewhere to put my tools. No, you don't even have tools. You're about to put a hammer and 3 sockets into your top drawer. Good job.
Sounds like my first toolbox.
Yep.
In all honesty, when I was a lube tech, I had the matter of fact, I started out in my videos I do at the house, my single bay Snap-on box with the Cornwell top set. That top one was my dad's Cornwell box. I took it, and that was my very first toolbox I used professionally. And the his ex-girlfriend got mad at him and bashed a lock out one day, thinking he was hiding some chick's phone number in there or something. So I had to like drill and put a padlock on it. I didn't care. I loaded that sucker up with tools. I mean,
Yeah,
kept me out of debt.
McBake says go to Home Depot for your box. I mean, he did it right. He actually found a really good deal. And if you guys want to check out his box, make sure you go check out his channel. But you can also find a full review of his toolbox on my channel as well if you guys want to check it out. But the box he got it's too small for me, but it's the right size for him. But he only paid $1,000 for it. He's got a hutch, he's got a toolbox, and he's got a side locker.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty good for $1,000.
What you mean as a first-year technician, you don't want to get an 84-inch Epic? Ah, man.
I'm gonna say
it depends
probably
on
not.
how much money your daddy has.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. That's the exact point.
If you show up in your work clothes as a lube tech in a 911 RS, go for it. But I'll tell you what I recommend. Have you ever had experience with Homac tools or the toolboxes?
So I have actually got some really good checking into them. So where I was at the majority of the time at SEMA, the Homac, their spot was right across the walkway from where we were at SEMA the majority of the time. So I got to look into their stuff really in depth. And they make some pretty darn nice toolboxes, especially their carts. Their carts impress me a lot.
Their cart is what I recommend every single time. The one with the drawers that go all the way down.
Yes.
I tell everybody you can get those on sale for under $700, and that will last you way over 10 years easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a good in between box, like in between like your US General and your Snap-on or Matco boxes. It's a good jump in between there. They're really decent quality. I would put them just above what Milwaukee and Husky and stuff would be.
Yep, agreed. They last, and like I say, I've seen them wheeled around, everything like that. The environment I'm in, we abuse toolbox, so we have to wheel everywhere. And one guy here, he has one, hasn't killed it yet. So,
and their toolboxes, they're pretty impressive. Also, not just their tool carts, like the slides that they have on those slides were pretty impressive too. I wasn't a big fan of their locking mechanisms on the handle all the time, but I'm kind of a snob when it comes to that one. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
Michigan Mechanic, not to deter what we're talking about. Michigan Mechanic says, I'm in the market for a truck. I think I want an early Dodge Ram with a 5.2 or 5.9. I'm a taller guy, 6'5". What other trucks would fit me best, do you think? I mean, I have a Chevy Silverado. Kyle has a Chevy Silverado. We're both 6'5", so we definitely fit in those trucks.
I've owned all the different brands except for Ford, but I've driven lots of Fords. I'm not a fan of Ford interiors myself, but if you're
I am not either.
If you're looking at the earlier Rams at the 5.2, 5.9, so you're looking at the early to mid 2000s. Rams have quite a bit of interior. I don't like their center consoles. Chevys have probably the best user-friendly interface on the inside of the interior, at least to my likings. Toyotas, the Tacomas and the Tundras are fairly decent, but again, lacking in the center console. But all of them you're going to fit comfortably in. You're not going to have issues on any of those.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I love my Tahoe, so.
Yeah, those Chevy interiors, it's hard to beat those. It really is.
Oh, yeah. If only we could get a Chevy with a Cummins in it, it'd be
yep.
Spot.
I know a lot of the other YouTubers who do reviews on a lot of the big heavier line trucks, they bash Cummins so bad. They're like, God, we love the Cummins engines, but we just hate the box that it comes in.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them one bit.
Now, let me ask you this. Actually, while I'm on here with you, my shop truck. Uh, I have a 2018 2500 Ram with the 5.7, I think it is, in it.
Gas truck.
It is starting to make a noise that, coming from the Ford world, would have me relatively concerned, should we say. It almost sounds like a timing chain slap when you first fire it up. But I'm going, ooh, this is a cam in block. Don't y'all have issues with lifters or something like that?
Every once in a while, they have issues with lifters. Now, they had a recall on some of the 5.7s, mostly in the Challengers, Chargers 300s for timing chain issues, but normally they don't have any kind of noise coming from the timing chain just because it is a standard small timing chain, not overhead valve or anything stupid like that, just a short timing chain. But
Yeah.
lifters wise, especially in those, especially ones that are MDS programming, the ones that shut down for the cylinders at the time.
This
Uh,
doesn't have that.
okay, normally a lot of the heavy duty ones don't have that one. However, we'll put it this way: all of the lifters right now for those Hemi blocks, they're on national back order. If that tells you anything.
Preach it.
Yeah, because I mean,
Captain
under a
Ron
cold
right now
start,
is actually waiting on a set.
Yeah, I've
if
got
I
a, I've got a,
go out there right now and fire it up, it's almost like lifters bled down or something. You'll hear for a split second, ta-ta-ta-ta, and then it smooths right out. Going, that's not
Yeah.
cool.
I've got a 300 SRT sitting in one of my bays right now that had a cylinder 6 misfire, and Kyle and I went through everything on the top end, pulled the head off, and had it sent off. We haven't heard. Have we even got anything back on that?
Yeah, it's done. They
Okay.
didn't find anything wrong with it other
So
than
not
some stuff on the valves, but
okay.
it's one of the collapsed lifters, pretty much.
Yeah. So it's completely tore down, and I cannot get lifters for it at all.
Yep. Now, for whatever reason, my company loves Dodge, I guess, because they're cheap and plentiful. I don't know. But two of our V6 Chargers we have, they've had to go back to the dealership under warranty because basically the lifters completely went out and the cams got totally screwed.
What, 3.6 liter cams and lifters? No, never seen that.
No.
Yeah.
In fact,
Have one of them started to do it again.
Mick Bake just got baptized on one of those this last week for the first
Good
time.
for him.
But yeah, we
That's bold.
definitely
I
see
said,
those.
if I'm touching, I'm putting a motor in it.
They're so easy to do, though.
Are they really?
Oh yeah, those lifters and cams and stuff, so simple to do. You don't even have to take the heads or the front timing chain off.
Really?
Yep, don't even at
Now,
all.
do it
You
like the Ford, the old Ford 4.6s, where you have the little wedge that go in between, or you have another trim?
It's exactly what you do. You have a wedge for
Yep.
the front cam phaser
Okay.
because the chain's actually on the phaser, and you unbolt
Yep.
the cam from that, so you can pull
Yep.
that cam, all the lifters and everything, right on out of there.
Yep.
Same as the Ford's in. Okay, yeah, that's not bad then.
And hopefully nobody from Dodge is watching, but you make pretty decent time on them too, because I think they pay like 7.5 hours, even under warranty
Nice.
time, to do those. So I'm like,
Yep.
bring all those on, like all
They
day
haven't
long.
discovered the wedge yet, then.
Not enough
I
for
was
that.
at
Tell 'em.
Ford. I was at Ford when the wedge first come out, and it was I think it was made by Lyle, and it was on the Matco truck. He told me about that, and I held it in my hand. I'm going, holy crap! I'm about to make a killing, because at the time the book time from Ford was some ungodly number, because some of them on the F-150s you had to pull the engine out as part of the
Yep.
procedure. And I'm in there just, all right, give me 3 hours. You're going to be done. Oh, it's good. That was
Mhm.
back in the day. Pre-recession, back then, I was flagging about 100, 110 hours a week. And
Wow.
oh, those were the good days. Between the 6.0s being out, just failing one after another. And this was around 05-ish, 04, somewhere
Then
around there.
those
So early
those
06.
4.6s too. Oh yeah.
Oh, man. the 3 valves, every single tune-up they come in, you have to tell the customer, okay, so you're probably looking at every single spark plug breaking off. So be prepared for this over $1,000 bill. But if it's less, hey, good for you. Which,
So when you went through those, or just talking about the Ford 3 valves, the Triton motors there, what was your trick for getting the spark plugs out the best and easiest? I've come up
the
with a
same way. Oh, you're talking about the broken ones or before they break?
before they break to get them out
Oh, okay.
without breaking.
It's going to sound insane. And I swear to you, it works. Try it.
It's probably what I do.
Crack it open just a hair, spray a little bit of car clean down inside, help eat it away, let it sit for half hour or whatever. Go in there with your air gun and one quick bump and it'll zip right out. Will not tear your threads up. It just, that quick jar, it breaks the carbon loose.
Yep, that's exactly what. So usually, what I will do is I will do that initial crack, and then I will have spray PB Blast or some carb clean or whatever down in there,
Yeah.
and actually have them drive it for a week. Go and drive it for a week. Come and bring it back in. Do the same thing there, and then 1/2 inch impact, pop, and just pull them right out. Usually, 7 out of 8 come out pretty reliably that way.
Yep. Exactly. And
I don't think I've seen you do a set of those yet. Then
Nope. I have the Lyle tool for doing that. The Snap-on one's junk.
I haven't seen what's Snap-ons.
Snap-on. Okay, so you know how you break it off and the porcelain's still stuck down in there. Okay. They have you take these small plastic rods that are the same diameter as the diode that goes through the middle, and they have you put epoxy on that
Thread locker. Yeah.
and put it down into there and wait a 1/2 hour for that to set. And then they have a puller that grips onto that and is supposed to pull the porcelain up out of it. From that point, then they want you to grip in down onto with reverse thread or with reverse threads into it, and then to be able to pull that tip out.
And do you know
Never
why
holds.
they made that and how old that patent is?
Probably stupid old.
I was there when the 3 valve started having issues. Ford got with Snap-on to come up with a tool. That tool was made and brought and presented at every Ford dealership as a Ford genuine tool to extract out the spark plugs. That was the only way at first. And when Lyle come out with the way you have, and that was again on my Matco truck. Oh my God, that was like angels singing "Save Day" because I never could get the Snap-on tool to work.
No,
At the time,
I
it was
never could get it to
it was
stick.
a green,
Green colored.
green thread locker.
Yes, that's exactly
And
what it was.
And I'm going, so you want me to glue this to that and have it just rip everything out? How
Magically.
strong do you think this stuff is?
Because it's not at all.
Oh, it was bad.
it doesn't even sound like it's reliable.
No,
Oh,
I
it
never could
just-
get it to work. I never got it to work
no.
one time.
I tried it twice and threw it across the shop, and that was the end of that one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
never.
remember that was one of the only like 3 tools that I ever used and gave back to my Snap-on guy. It said, "I want my money back." That was that one tool. I'm like, this thing is the worst design ever. I want my money back on that one. I'm usually pretty good. I'm not salty about making a bad decision on things, but that was one where you sold me junk and you promised me something awesome, and it was junk.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, when it comes to it, you talk about an innovative company. I don't think people give Lyle Tools much credit, but I mean, they really come out with, some really cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guarantee you, every single one of your big tool trucks, you will find a Lyle product. It'll probably be rebranded, but it's a Lyle product.
Yep.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, the Lyle version of that one, I like that one because people don't realize they're like, oh, you get little bits of that porcelain, down in the engine. I said, you realize that little piece of porcelain that is just going to explode and chip up into a million pieces and get shut out the exhaust valve before it will ever do any kind of damage ever. So even if the slightest sliver of that porcelain gets in the engine, it's not going to do anything.
Nope.
So the Lyle one, all it does is it pushes that porcelain down in a little bit farther into that sleeve to where you can get that reverse thread down into it and use a second tool that pulls the tip of that spark plug right back out.
Yep.
Now, the other thing that I
And
was wondering,
every single
what do you
time it's
put
going to
back
be
in?
on either number 4 or 8.
Oh, yeah, always. Now, what spark plugs did you put back in there afterwards?
Delcos.
It was Motorcraft, and
Oh, yeah.
it was part of the procedure to take anti-seize and put it along everything.
So
Basically, let's
surprisingly,
dip it.
why didn't Motorcraft change something up and do what Champion did? Champion came out with a one-piece spark plug.
Really?
So oddly enough,
That's cool.
whenever I do those motors, I said, I know it's going to sound stupid, and I know you Ford guys, they all you want to see is Motorcraft, but I'm going to put a Champion spark plug back on this because Champion is the only one that makes a one-piece spark plug for the Ford Triton 3 valves.
Ford's brighter ideas.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you want to call it that.
well, I don't know if you remember those campaigns. They used to have the Ford's brighter ideas, and they used to pull the little light bulb on TV. Yeah, it's a stupid campaign.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, between the 3 valves, which was a total disaster, between the lifters going out, completely going up cams and ruining heads, cam
People decide to
phasers
put timing
dying.
chains on the back of heads. Oh,
Yeah, the 4-liter. That was a fantastic idea. I used to tell people all the time, look, you're better off just going to LKQ and having a junkyard motor chopped off. You're just better off. No.
which is what Captain Ron gets to do this next week.
Yay!
He has got one of those. He has got a Ford Explorer Sport Track with a 4-liter
Sweet.
Yep.
that he did a crap load of work to. And then just out of nowhere, so he did all this work to it, even put like an intake plenum on it and such, and ended up after putting like 17 hours of work into this thing, starts it up and the bottom end starts hammering. Like,
Yep.
what did you do, Ron? Like, what did you do?
The only
And
the only thing I did,
nothing.
I did valve cover gaskets to it. I didn't get anything further past that, and then did an oil change to it. And when I did the oil change to it, they must have sludged the engine so it wouldn't make noise or something. But as soon as I did that oil change, it was just knocking like crazy.
And boy, our owner, he was kind of pissed about it. He's like, "What do you mean? You just put 20, hours worth of work into this thing, and we put like $3,000 into it, and now the motor's got a rod knocking." Yeah, pretty much. Like that's the luck of it.
Yep.
Gotta love them
And
auction
9 times out of
vehicles.
10, realistically, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people try to scam a dealership. Oh, my ride was fine before you changed the oil. Knowing full good and well they dumped a gallon of Lucas in the thing before they brought it in.
Yep.
Just wanting you to throw a motor in it.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it's a scam. It happens time after time.
Mhm. All right. Well, I think that's going to be about all we've got for tonight. We're kind of running in past our time. I appreciate you, buddy, Everyday Fleet Tech, coming in and joining with me and the captain here on this New Year's special. Hopefully, everybody is going to have themselves a fantastic 2020 coming up for them. Anything else you got for tonight, Captain?
Not per se for what we got going on here. I don't know if we're necessarily going to post this one as a podcast. I think what we'll do is we'll kind of take a hiatus from this one, and we'll call it the 2 weeks from Christmas to New Year a hiatus. Starting next week, on next Sunday, we will be back over on my channel, and we will probably have a special guest with us on that stream. So you guys want to make sure that you stick around for that. If you guys have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys go over to my channel and hit the subscribe button. And also make sure you guys go check out Everyday Fleet Tech as well and give him a subscribe to his channel as well. But yeah, like I said, next week we'll be over on my channel for we'll call it season 2, I guess, since it's a new year.
Sounds good.
Season 2. and this will be the start of season 2 for the podcast as well. So if you guys haven't checked that out as well, make sure you guys go over to your favorite podcast listening program and look for Tech Talk Live, and you guys can listen to us when you're not on the YouTubes.
Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everybody who has put all the time into everything to be able to help us out to make this thing possible. Without all of you guys, the subscribers and everyone who tunes into this, it would not be possible. So big thank you to you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
Yep. As always, you guys stay awesome.
Take care.